Hi, Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome. Today's video is a bit of a vlog because it's a market plushie drop and there's quite a bit. So I'm going to film it over 3 days. Right now it's 3 parts and hopefully I'll put it together, edit it. Could be 4 parts, who knows. But anyway, stay tuned and you can pick the part you want to watch. I hope you enjoy it. Bye for now. Welcome to Market Prep Part 1. So Part 1 is based on restocking the items I sold at my last market, and it's during the time of 11:47 to 12:46, and that's how I'll break up the videos. So the first thing I sold during that period was a Brontosaurus. I don't sell many dinosaurs, but I've sold a couple of these. So I've got one in stock. I've restocked the one I've sold. He's in mill-end yarn and I used a 5mm crochet hook for that. I do have a lot of notes because there's a lot to get through. That's a free pattern on Instagram by Kaylee Crochet. My next sale was a key ring, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was and I didn't write it down. So I decided, I might put that up there, to make a pocket Kirby and put it on a key ring because I thought that would be cute and would sell well. This is a free pattern by Nemo Crochet. It's free on Instagram. And yeah, I thought it was a good little keyring bag buddy type thing. Good size. That's all Zaddy Craft yarn with the bits and pieces I've got of Zaddy Craft left over with, and I used a 4.5mm crochet hook. So that looks cute, and I probably will make more of those. Then I went through quite a stretch of selling tea towels and mystery bags. Now, I've sold 5 tea towels, total value $50 that I sold at the time to different people. And I have made restock items. Here, I'm just folding that up better. I've made 5. Sometimes they're just different. I go through and see what I have and allocate so that I've got a good color range. But yeah, and value range, like cheaper ones, mid-price ones, more expensive ones. I won't go through that. That's my own tutorial. I'll put a link in the description below for all the patterns and things. Mystery bags, look, I've probably got about 8 left. I may do 2. I had decided I wasn't going to make things for mystery bags just yet. I'll go through my inventory, and if I need to bring it up to 10 mystery bags, I probably will just pick from there. So I then moved on because I am time poor at the moment. I sold a Jellycat, and it was the most popular Jellycat. Everyone picked it up. Isn't it cute? Oh, I really love it. But I did eventually sell it, and it is Peanut. He was the most popular looked at Jellycat at my last market. This is all Zaddy Craft yarn, 4.5mm crochet hook, and this is a free Instagram pattern by Sammy's Crochet. So yeah, he turns out great every time, and he's a quick make. So I made an amusable Jellycat to replace the Peanut that I sold. The next thing I sold was a Demigorgon. I took 3 to market and sold 1. And the last 2 markets, I've taken 3 and sold 1. So I've decided I'm not going to replenish that Demigorgon. I'm just going to take 2 because I think the run of them being favorites, popular, is starting to drift off as Stranger Things episode gets older. So I'm just going to take the 2, and I decided not to make a 3rd one. I also sold these little stingrays this size, and I made a stingray, except I made him in really dark colors because someone requested. The others were bright red with yellow and purple with yellow. So this time I've made a more, I guess, realistic looking stingray. He's grey with some royal blue. And this is all mill-end yarn, 5mm crochet hook. And this is a great tutorial by Teresa's Crochet Shop. I like this. I I've got the pattern for the big one, which I've sold, but this is a good size that I sell. So that's pretty much part one. I then decided I'd take a break, and I went off and made some shawls, which I did a video of. I'll put a link up here for the market. And I've started on doing part two. The next market in August I go to, it's a pet parade for kids and all that. So I'm theming my entire stand as an animal rescue centre with adoption certificates. So come back, watch part two for that, because there's some interesting items in there, and I'll let you know how I get on. Hi, welcome to part two. So part two is based on my next market, which has a theme. It is paws and brows market, and they're doing a pet parade and different things with animals for kids. And I like to theme a table or a stand based on their theme, and I'm going to do my big stand because I'm going to do an animal rescue centre and have animals with adoption certificates that kids can buy or parents can buy. So that's what I spent the next, I don't know, week on before this, and I decided I'd get started. So I thought, well, I'll do dogs. I like dogs. And the pattern, I've had it for a long time. I looked up, when did I buy it? 1st of May 2025, and it was on special. It may be on special again. It's the puppy, what's it called? It's the crochet pattern, the puppy. And I think the new version out has 2 different puppies on the front. Mine just has the one. And it is Toy Story AU. It was reasonably priced. So I made it in Zaddy craft yarn and a 4.5mm crochet hook. He turned out bigger than I thought. I've given him artificial eyes and an artificial nose. First time I've ever done an artificial nose. He is my first big, I guess, biggish, largest, chunky, whatever you want to call it, for my animal rescue centre. I really like making it. And it wasn't that hard to make. Everything is sort of crocheted in from memory. It was a while ago. Not that long, but I'm getting old. I'm forgetful. So the next thing I thought, because he was big, I went small. And I bought this pattern off Etsy in July 2025. I think I bought this in July. Nope. It was February 2026. I'm getting confused with my own notes. So here it is. It's the Dachshund dog in jumpers. Now, I've made the plain dog before, but this is the first time I've done the jumpers. I don't like all the colour change, so I used a variegated yarn for the jumper. He has quite a big nose, and this is all mill end yarn, and I used a 5mm crochet hook for this. He's quite cute. I don't mind him, and he will be at the lower end of the price range in the Animal Rescue Centre, and I probably will make a couple more so he's not lonely. I then decided, and I found this. I've never really seen a good loaf dog before, and I don't mind the way this turned out. So this is, I've had to write it down. Puppies Plus Minis, Part 2, Floppy Ears, 12-in-1 crochet pattern by Annie Caraway Art. And this was on Etsy. A paid for pattern on Etsy. It was on sale, and I bought it on the 1st of July. I don't know if it's still on sale. Mine is made in mill ends with a 5.5mm crochet hook, and I just freehanded the colour change the way I wanted it. So it looks like a little loaf dog. I don't mind him. I think his snout may have turned out a bit prominent, but anyway, he's quite cute. And he was easy enough to make. And I do like the floppy ears. So he's probably the next price range up from my Dachshund dog. And I may make another one of those, like do different colorways. It all depends. I was experimenting with dogs. So the next thing is I moved on to cats. I'm not a fan of cats. One, Reeves is chronically allergic to them. Two, I had a nasty scare from a big white Persian cat that jumped on my stomach when I was 5 months pregnant with my eldest son, and I'd had a miscarriage before. So that sort of scarred me with cats. Cats love Thing. Wherever we go, they're all over him. They love him. But he has to be careful because he can't bring cat fur home because Reeves will have trouble breathing. Anyway, I made some crochet cats. So I started with the pattern, won't be a moment, reaching over here, that Thea gave me. And I started with the cat. Cuties in blankets. There they are. And I thought, well, I'll make the cat in that one. And here he is. Now, I had real problems with the blanket. It is mill end yarn, 6mm crochet hook for the blanket snuggie, and 5.5 for this. Look, I think it was just too thick, and I had to keep making it bigger to fit the cat. I will make more of these. I may even make the dog one and try a different yarn for the blanket. Maybe it was just too thick. I don't know. But if you've tried this pattern, let me know what yarn you use for the blanket. I'd really like to know. And it was really generous of Thea to send me that. I really appreciate it, that pattern. It's always nice to get a pattern gift. So that was my cat. Look, cats for that one. I won't be a moment. So I didn't really want to do loaf cats. I will have to do a loaf cat later in my sales. I sold one, which I'll replenish it. I usually take 3 and I already have 2. So I was looking around and came across Pammy Doll's sitting cat. I haven't got a copy of the pattern. I more or less did it from my iPad. It was so easy to do. So I made this grey one first, and I used the small eyes like she said, but I think they're a little small. I do like them. They just sit beautifully. And this is, of course, Zaddy Craft yarn and a 4.5mm crochet hook. I then decided I'd have a go at making like a patchy cat, and this is all Zaddy Craft yarn, and I'd use bigger eyes, and this is what I made. Except I think he looks like he's wearing a hat, and Thing said he looks like he's got alopecia with the apricot. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my little sitting cat. I think these are a good option, an alternative to loaf cats. So there you go. Now this dog I made from Annie Caraway Art, I also bought her cat pattern. So I may make one of those to see if it's a little bit different to a standard loaf cat. So that's pretty much it for part 2. So with the Animal Rescue Centre, when I go through my inventory and the things that I've made, so far I have a total of 22 animals to sell, and that includes snakes, birds, guinea pigs. I will make another guinea pig. And that value currently is at $367, which averages out to $16.69 per item. And I was aiming for $15, so I'm happy with that. And I'll keep making more animals for the rescue centre. I'm going to have a variety of animals. Like I said, I've got snakes. I'll do some rats, that sort of thing. So part 3 is I got tired of making animal type things and I wanted to try some other things. So part 3 is about some new items and patterns I have not made before that will go into inventory ready for the market. See you in part 3. Hi, welcome to part 3. I have been trying to film these as soon as I get home from work. Sometimes I get changed. Today I haven't got changed. I'm still in work clothes. It's been 3 days of beautiful sunny weather lately, so that's been nice. But I'm pretty busy at work and I had to have some more medical things done. There may be damage to my lungs because I got COVID twice. I've been for a x-ray. It's not so much going to those things. It's like I waited 45 minutes before my x-ray. You wait half an hour before you see the doctor. All that, I should know next week what's going on. I do wheeze a bit, but and that is something new since I had COVID. No big deal. I am tired. Thank you. Someone asked me if I was tired in one of the comments because I look tired. I am a little tired. I think I'm just tired of, I don't know. I said to the daughter, I'm starting to feel like a guinea pig. I hit 69 and it's like, before I turn to 70 and made into Soylent Green, they want to make sure I'm healthy enough to be made into Soylent Green. Anyway, let's get on with part 3. So part 3 was about, I've been market prepping items from what I sold, thinking about the theme of this next market, and I wanted to make some fun stuff. So I'll just get them. Sorry, I should be organized. One of the things I made was Coop the chicken. I made one of these in my hashtag BookBuddyAU make-along to go with the book. I really like this chicken. I think it's amazing. And yes, that's why I enjoyed making Coop the chicken, which is a pattern by Madeline Mako, of course, on Etsy. I have a few of her patterns and no doubt I will buy some more. He's just made in mill-end yarn, and I think I used a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. But Coop the chicken. There could be a lot more of these chickens in different colors in my future. So because I enjoyed making him, that's why I went back. And then I bought this pattern. Did I write down when I bought this one? Let's have a look. I don't know. It would have been this year. I haven't written down when I bought it. And it's been sitting there and I thought, well, I want something other than animals at my stall. So I made, and here's a pattern, Magic Mushrooms by Crafty Chaos Emporium, Kim. I bought that pattern and I thought, well, I'm going to make some. And here are the 2 I made. So for me, I could not get them to stand up. And what I have done is I put a plastic disc in the bottom and they now stand up. He's got the stars like Magic Mushroom. I couldn't, for some reason, he was the second one. I could not get the stars to work. So I made him chopped mint chip mushroom. So there they go. That's just something to have a little different on my stall. They have got artificial eyes. They do stand up and I really enjoyed making them. And they're both made in mill-end yarns and a 5.5, did I write that down? 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. My 2 magic mushrooms. I think they're really gorgeous. And it is something a little different amongst my plushies. I just have to go and get something. I'm so disorganized. I should be much better organized than this. So then I wanted to make some small turtles. I've got 2 turtles in my inventory that have been there a while. And everybody looks at them, but they don't buy them. And they're on the larger size, so they're a bit more expensive. I may pull those turtles out and revamp them with something. I think maybe they're just plain and ordinary and that's why people aren't buying them. But I wanted a smaller turtle and it will go in the section of the Animal Rescue Center. And so I bought this sea turtle pattern bundle by Crochet Customs. I think Tracy at Crochet by Tracy, this is the one she used. I think that's where I saw it. Make sure you check out her channel. She makes some amazing stuff. But yeah, I bought this one. And did I write down when I bought it? I used mill ends, but I used really fine mill ends and some scrap zaddy yarn in pink. And I used a 4 millimeter crochet hook. And this is my turtle. He has a frill. The thing about this turtle is I just feel like his flippers are too big for his shell. And I did everything according to the pattern. But Reeb said he looks okay. His tail, everything. What do you think? Do his flippers look too big for this pattern? Because I did use as small a hook as possible to get them down. But there he is. He's got embroidered eyes because I think he'll be a little child's wish toy. I may make more and maybe even use a finer. Maybe I'll use Patty's Plush Pink, which is a bit thinner than Zaddy Craft Pink, or a Patty's Plush yarn for the flippers, and bring it down again. But I did enjoy making him, and he is different. My turtle pattern go-to is a tutorial by No Catchy Name. It's quite a big turtle, and I'm hopefully one day she'll bring out a pattern that reduces it. I've never quite worked out how to reduce it. But that was just for fun because I thought, well, I need some turtles, and I'd seen Tracy talk about this one. I thought I'd give it a go. So then I do for fun, although I'm not doing this fortnight. I'm just so busy, worn out, not really much Crojo. And our theme for Wheelie Wednesday 4 weeks ago was transport and the colour orange, and I was stumped. Then Reeve said, watch this on YouTube with me. The Oscar Mayer 500 and the Wiener cars, and he said, make one of those. So I free-handed one, my attempt at one. I used different yarns, different colours. So here is my Oscar Mayer Wiener car. Ta-da! Look, he's called the Sinner. He's called the Sinner because he hides a multitude of crochet sins. I gave him light headlights and a bumper, and I just sort of looked at a photo and went for it. It was a bit of fun. I will put it on the market stall at a very reasonable price. So I think this is Patty's Plush. This is probably Patty's Plush. This is Millen's. The Greys, Zaddy Crafts. Is quite a mixture of yarns, and it did take a bit of thinking out. But that was for Wheelie Wednesday, and it's my Oscar Mayer Wiener car, or the Sinner. And I did have fun putting it together, even if it's not the best thing I've ever made. So that's what I've made for fun, and this is winding up the video. Considering this is part 3, let's go into a summary. My next video is going to be during a busy period at work, an end of month, and I do have to go in for 2 full-on day tests with a specialist. Nothing serious, just checking out things for my lungs. And so I do plan to do the sales I made between 103 and 206 because my market got busy towards the end of it, not the early part of it. So there's quite a bit to make for inventory restock, and I will be looking at some new patterns. I thought I might look at some patterns that involve animals, and then I will take out some things in my inventory that haven't sold. They'll either go in mystery bands, or I may look at how I can revamp them to make them more interesting. Let me know in the comments below if you have any dog and cat patterns you can recommend that aren't too labor intensive. They have to be pretty quick and easy. I may make a chicken pattern. I can't think who I was watching. I'll let you know when I make it where I got the idea from. I saw a new chicken pattern today, I think, early hours this morning before work. And I'm thinking, I'll give that a go. That's a pretty good pattern. Anyway, guys, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and maybe try a new pattern that isn't a plushy animal for your market stall. Bye for now.